I'm really enjoying the interview, man. Let the people know about. Appreciate you, fam. Let the people know about some of your interview moments. Because we understand. You're founder of Dying Diva magazine, and in that era, so much is going on in the hip hop world that you were covering exclusively. So give us some, just a few of those interview moments.
I mean, my interviews were not Q&As, and anybody who has seen a video of me interviewing somebody, it they know how I do. I sit and I kick it, and I bring about a certain degree of comfortability with the subject, and they just communicate as though they were talking to a friend in private circumstances. And that's how you get out of my interviews something that you would never get out of any other interview, any other publication, or any other journalist or whatever. For instance, 50 Cent. Now, I'm the first person to put 50 on the cover of a magazine ever. A month after I put him on the cover of Don Diva magazine, he was on the cover of literally every magazine in the country, some out of the country, at the same time. Now, how was I able to do that first? I was able to see that potential, that he just wanted to get in the magazine. I said, no, you're next, and I would be first to let the world know you're next. And what made me recognize that was in our interactions, he exposed a degree of what they call social intelligence, right? And because I recognized that element in other people, I saw in him that he was going to be huge. He had this innate ability to market and promote himself in his natural environment without it appearing forced. And we, in that first interaction at Violator, it was down on 26th between 6th and Broadway. We chopped it up, man. We were down there, me, him, and my son Maurice, Ty Mills, comedian Ty Mills. And my son was about 15, and I guess he's 30 now. We chopped it up, man, and he spoke like a person, not like an artist. And that comfortability came from me speaking like a person and not like a journalist. 50 talked to me about his mother, his grandparents, all the things that you guys came to know about 10 years later, I was apprised of in the first 15 minutes of us interacting. It got to the point where I cut the recorder off because what we were getting into was not for the general public. And you can ask Nelly, David Banner, Ludacris, Scarface, Busta Rhymes, man, the list goes on and on. Anybody who's anybody has been anybody. In our first interactions, we established a true connection that maintains to this day. And the unique experiences that I was able to be a part of and included in, going to their homes on holidays, meeting them in different places all over the country, being with them before, during, and after performances in different places, and being present for different interactions. Jeezy. When I first met Jeezy was running around in Atlanta, the mob family, and he was Lil J then, and he told me about his dreams and aspirations of being an artist. He really wanted to do it. He told me at that point, he said, "Yo, big homie, we were in Patchwork Studios, and he was like, yo, big homie, I got about $900,000 stash, man, and yo, man, I just want to do this, man, and I'm ready to put it all up, man, to make it happen. You know, I really want to do it. I said, you're going to do it because you got that kind of passion. You're going to do it. And you got all the elements that are already associated with a successful rapper. And when you're ready, I'm going to put you on the cover of Don Dior magazine. And I'll be the first person to put you on the cover of the magazine. And when the time came, that happened. In between that time, that conversation and that cover, we traveled all over the country together. Me, him, Meech, Blue, the whole family. Went all over the place. Had a lot of fun, did a lot of things, enjoyed a lot of things. You'll be able to read about that stuff in my book, my forthcoming book, The Slick Adventures of a Hip Hop Hustler. And you'll be able to read about how me and DMX, we went out to LA to do the Exit Wounds premiere. And we were going down Sunset Boulevard in the afternoon. And if you're familiar with Sunset Boulevard on a weekday, around 4 o'clock, it is a traffic jam. So we were in a convertible SL, green convertible SL. He had just gotten out 3 days before. He had been on Rikers Island for driving without a license. And he got out just in time for the New York premiere of Exit Wounds. Did an electrifying performance after the premiere of The Windows of the World. And then a few days later, we were in LA, and we were on our way to the Jay Leno show, like I said. We were riding down Sunset Boulevard, and we were doing about 60 miles an hour. And Earl is a very impatient person. Anybody who's familiar with him will attest to that. And him behind the wheel is basically an attempt at suicide, always. So we're flying, got a big ass jug of Hennessy 1738. And Snoop had just came through. We were over at the Bellagio. Snoop had come through. No, not Snoop. Busta. Busta had come through with this weed that was in a candy wrapper package with a lumberjack on it, cartoon lumberjack with a daisy in his hand, and the daisy was wilted over, and the lumberjack had this euphoric smile on his face, and the stuff inside was so green and so crazy. And he had this white kid with him, and the white kid was with the white kid was with Busta, and he had this jar of honey, little jar. He opened it, had a brush on it, and he took out the wrappings, to roll up in, put the smoke on it. But before he did that, he took the brush and he brushed and glazed this wrapper, this leaf. Now I didn't know that this shit was full of weed, this honey or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking it was just honey. And on top of that, put the weed in it. Mm-hmm. Roll that, smoke that, whatever. So we get ready to leave. They pull the cars up outside. Me and Earl's on the balcony. Earl looked down. It's a big CL, chocolate brown CL 500. SL 500. A couple other cars, whatever. Earl said, I want the convertible. We sit, we smoke. Everybody go downstairs. We the last ones to leave. Me, him, and two brothers with food business law. We get on the elevator, and all the other shit hits me. That elevator got this small. I was like, yo, we gotta get off this elevator. I go try to get back in the room. Earl sticks his head out the elevator and said, yo, where you going, man? We gotta go. So they get me back on the elevator, we get downstairs, we jump in the SL, we flying. By the time we get on Sunset Boulevard, the tires, you can smell the tires. We're flying. We're following behind this black guy who was one of Jay Leno's attorneys, and this other white girl, she was driving, and she was Joel Silver's assistant. Joel Silver is the producer, director big guy, swordfish, all that shit, and he did executes. And she was in a silver 300 Benz. And she was told that if you don't drive, I told her that if you don't drive aggressively enough and fast enough, he will pass you. And he will not know where he's going, and he will go wherever he wants to go, and that will be that, and you will not see him at the Jay Leno show. So you got to drive fast. So she's driving as fast as she can manage to drive in this LA traffic. So we hit Sunset Boulevard, and we're flying, and she gets a bit of ahead of us. So he goes on the wrong side of the street, goes against the traffic, and switch back over, and there's a motorcycle cop on the other side of the street sitting there. And we fly by, he goes, "Hey, pull over!" So we pull over, and like I said, got the Hennessy. You know, he's blasting that single that he had on the Exit soundtrack. I got the blunt in my hand. He's fired up, and the top is down. And he looks over at me. He looks over at me, and he goes, "You got a license?" And I was like, "Nah." And I know he don't have a license. I said, "You?" He said, "Nah." I said, "Okay, we going to jail." Right? So, no, he hands me the blunt. I take the blunt, and I put it to the side. Whatever. Cop walks over. He goes, "Do you know how fast you were going?" And Earl looks at him, looks at me. I look back at him. No. It was 60 miles an hour. So he goes, "Give me a drive." And before he could say driver's license, the brother gets out of the Benz and comes walking back towards us and goes, "Hey, I work for Jay Leno. She works for Joe Silver. We're on our way to Jay Leno's show. Those guys are they're rappers. They're going to be on Jay Leno's show." And the cop stops. He goes, "Hey, slow down." And he walks away. Earl turned around, looked at me, and goes, "Yo." "Yeah." He goes, "Did you throw that blunt away?" I said, "Shit. You must be out your mind." "Not this." We going down. Up. It's a goal. And that was just one of the times that Earl almost got me arrested. But a lot of those.